Las Vegas clearance delivery Southwest 1761 ready to copy IFR clearance to Kona. Southwest 1761 is cleared to Kona Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 8 left climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.025 squawk 0126.
Hey there, welcome to AlpineBRAVO. I'm just going to do a quick live stream tonight in the FSR 500. I'll just turn that off. So we're using the FSR 500 by FS Reborn, great little aircraft, and today we're going to be flying, probably best if I show you on Volanta, showing, bring that across, and we're flying from Las Vegas, McCarran International, down to John Wayne. Down here. So we're going to be flight time of 1 hour and 14 minutes. We've got a some brief flight plan in, and that is giving us. Just move this over here. Not that one, that one. So yeah, cruise of flight level 270, 255 nautical miles, 724 pounds of fuel required. Pretty straightforward routing. Just going to come out of Las Vegas. It's given us runway 26 right, but we haven't picked up our clearance yet. And we'll head due south to the GFS VUR and then pick up our routing. We've got the Emlyn 1 arrival into John Wayne. Just show the charts. So Las Vegas, we're up here towards the FBO. Payware scenery from the marketplace. It's okay. It's not great. But it's saying runway 26 right, which is all the way over here, so it's going to be a pretty long taxi down there. For arrival, this is the Emlyn 1 arrival down into John Wayne. So we've got the HEC transition here, and then we'll be picking up our routing in quite an interesting set of altitude restrictions, and then it brings you in, and then I'm getting runway 20 right at the minute to John Wayne. It's John Wayne here, so that's coming in from the north. We'll just see what wet routing we get. Sadly, as you can see on Volanta, zero VATSIM at the moment, so we'll be using the Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC, such as it is, and I've got FSLTL traffic up and running, which is quite busy, because I'm on the clearance delivery frequency in my headset, which you probably can't hear, but I can, and there are a lot of aircraft calling for clearance. I'll just bring that back in now. Turn it down a bit. Just in terms of, I've got the GPU connected, security cones out, chocks on, covers on, just all sitting here waiting for the passengers. But we'll get going. Okay. Battery start. I wonder why I've got a battery warning. I shouldn't be. Just make sure I've got. GPU is there but not connected. Let's get it connected up. Okay, so we got our you know, the METAR here, it's just, I mean, it's good weather. 6 knots from 060. The pressure is altimeter is 3014. That will put it onto ADIS. Yeah, so it's giving me runway 8 right, 8 left, which is a lot more sensible than the 26 right that Simbrief gave me. So we'll see if we can actually get a clearance. So that's 8,000 feet for the initial climb. Okay, so that was pretty straightforward. We've got runway 8 left, as expected. So what does that mean in terms? It means hopefully a much shorter taxi. Because where's 8 left? 8 left is here. So just gonna taxi probably down hotel. What's that? So here, that's hotel, that's Foxtrot. Can't really, yeah, okay. But anyway, just gotta watch out. There's 2 runways in the set. There's a hotspot indicated. We've got our clearance. Better get passengers and fuel. Let's hope it's not too long. I've noticed sometimes that you can, it just sort of like pauses or it kind of slightly freezes while it's requesting the fuel truck. There we go. 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Ugh, yeah, okay. Can always cut that short if you want to. But anyway, there's some things that we can do while we are waiting. Well, I don't want lock 1, I want that on nav or GPS. Magenta, our barometer was 3014. Minutes. And according to the charts, airport elevation 2,181. Yeah, okay. $2,120. Okay, but of course that altitude is for the datum point of the airfield. What's making all the noise out there? Something. Okay, I'm just going to pop that away for now. Although I say that, I want to know how long that fuel truck is going to be. Still saying 4 minutes. Yeah, I think we can just skip that. Yeah, it's not loaded correctly, so I'm gonna re-import from SimBrief. Yeah, okay, that's better. There we go, there's our fuel and our packs. Now it always loads packs 1 into the co-pilot seat. I prefer not to have them there. But it's giving me the dog whether I like it or not. Okay, that's fine, we'll leave it as it is. Something a bit funny going on there. Anyway, yeah, I'll just skip the all that ground ops. It's just taking too long. So we can take our covers and our pitot heat off, take our chocks off, security cones can come in, the red carpet can come in. I'm just gonna check the status of my battery. Yeah, the battery's okay, so I'm gonna lose the GPU as well. See everything, get everything powered down. Okay, and we can start getting through our checklist now. So, before starting engine checklist, passengers are on board. The door can be closed and latched. It gets a bit quieter. All our electrical switches are off. Cabin climate control is off. ECS cabin comfort is off. Parking brake is on. Bleed air lever is pulled. Power lever is idle. Condition lever is cut off forever. Okay, check the emergency switch now. Okay, gear, flaps, fuel. Saying fuel quantity £0. That's not what it says here. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll monitor that and see what happens when we bring the battery on. Okay, so our nav light can go on. And our battery switch, I'm going to start using external controls now. Battery switch can go on. And there's the PFD coming up, and now we've got a fuel quantity reading. It may be that in emergency power mode you don't get the fuel tank sensor. I think that's actually correct. So flaps are retracted. Fuel gauges we've checked. 362 pounds in each tank. Outside outside temperature 16 degrees. All our temperatures and pressures are verified and checked. And we can now test the fire. So we've got the triple chime, and we had the fire warning CAS on the PFD, which I could see, but on an external monitor. Okay, and right, final thing is consider anything illuminated. So we just need to take off that little map, pitot heat off, take off config alternator generator and feather, as all expected. Okay, we can now go for an auto engine start using the battery. So we check the battery voltage is above 24 volts, 25.3. Okay. Fuel pumps to manual and left and right indicated. Ignition can go to manual, and is indicated. Prop area clear. And our start mode switch. Start mode switch is unilluminated, so it's in auto, and we're ready for engine start.
Clear.
Bring our focus back down here. So we're looking for NG13. There's NG13. Condition lever is going to run. And keeping our hand on it, monitoring ITT rising, oil pressure rising, temperature rising, and looks like we peaked at 723. There's the starter is off. So NG is stable above 63%. Our prop RPM is climbing. It should be a minimum of 1200, which it looks like it's just about to achieve. Generator switch can now go on, and we've got 47 amps on it and 28 volts confirmed. Alternator is on. Okay, our fuel pumps can now go to auto. Ignition switch can go off, and oil pressure is 113. Okay, that completes the engine start checklist. We can move on to our before taxi checklist, so our avionics can go on. And press the enter key to bring it up. Zoom it in. Of course, we can also go for the, see how this does. I got really bad performance at Las Vegas last time I tried to do this, but we can zoom right in and we actually get the taxiway showing. There This is supposed to be Sundance helicopters next to me, but it's like a giant park of Black Hawks. So it's not military, it's supposed to be civilian. As I said, it wasn't. It's not a great scenery, this. Okay, our pitot heat can go on, and yep, we had a rise in amps, and it was the pitot heat cast message. Caution extinguished. Okay. Right, our taxi lights can now go on. Climate cabin control. AC can go on. And we'll bring this up to about there. Okay, radios and avionics. We've got 8,000 set. We've got our pressure set. That's all I pretty much want to do at the minute. I suppose I could tune the VUR. Which is Las Vegas VUR is 116.9. So I'll put that on nav1, and then our first waypoint is actually the Goff's Vortac, and that is 114.4. So we'll just put that up on nav2. So that's not showing, but that's not surprising. Okay, so radio avionics, flaps are retracted. We'll just visually confirm that. Yep. Elevator trim set for takeoff range. So anywhere in this white box is takeoff range. I like to give it a little bit of nose up just to help with the rotation. And now we want the rudder trim set 3 degrees, which is between 2 and 3, but I was tend to set it for 3. Lead air lever can get pushed in, and the cabin comfort, ECS cabin comfort switches to normal. We'll just confirm that. Normal, bleed air is pushed in. Cabin pressure dump switch is closed. And destination elevation is set. That's all done automatically now. Test our stall warning. Okay, altimeters are set. Okay, alright, I think we are ready to taxi. Get over onto ground. Well, that's about as straightforward a taxi as I could hope for here at Las Vegas. So it's hotel. Let's have a look at it on the chart. The hotel, just come out and straight down here and get onto here. Hold short down in there somewhere. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, our before taxi checklist is complete. We can now go on to our taxi checklist. So our taxi area is clear. I'll taxi round to the left. We'll just have a look. How much space have we got? Got quite a lot more space on the right, so we'll actually turn off to the right. Okay, brakes, right, so we just need to check the brakes and the steering. So, release the parking brake. Just advancing the throttle slowly. Doesn't take much. So looking for hotel. Just get off the. We should be exiting the apron here. It's very handy, this Navigraph feature. Okay, and this is coming on to hotel. There's no traffic coming. It's very quiet this side of the airport. Everything's all over on the other side. Just pop it into beta. So I'm on hotel now. Don't know if you can see, that's ground speed's 13 knots. I just like to keep it at that. I mean, you can taxi along at 20, don't really want to go faster than 20. Southwest over there. Don't know what that is parallel to me. It's a United 737 MAX. Someone coming into land. Like I'll have to wait my turn for takeoff. Just confirm, yeah, there I am on hotel. A bit too much beta there. Something I haven't done is actually check my flight plan, make sure I've got the arrival loaded, because it probably hasn't loaded. But I can do that while I am waiting for this traffic to clear. So I'll just gonna pop the brake on here. And procedure, and I'm actually also going to change my runway as well. So the arrival was the Emlyn 1 with the HEC transition, so I'll load that. Okay, and put in 8 left. Activate that leg. Activate. Right. Okay. That's looking a bit better. Zoom out. Yeah, though, I mean, it's got the first leg to the Las Vegas VUR, but that's at the airport. It's a bit bizarre. You can see it there. Don't know why SimBrief puts that in. I may even delete it. Actually, yeah, I think I will actually delete it. Will it let me though? Not sure, actually. Oh, it's clear, isn't it? Haha, just remembered, don't often have to delete waypoints, so that's a bit better. So Cresso is my first waypoint. Okay, let's carry on with our taxi. Now we've done that housekeeping. Don't tell me I've lost ATC sound already. Endless bug that they never seem to be able to solve. So we should bend round slightly. Okay, I'm guessing that's that southwest there. I haven't lost audio. There he goes. Just get our just acknowledge it. Hey there, Mike. Yeah, I'm using a AlpineBRAVO throttle quadrant for my throttle, and if you want to know how I've configured it, there's a post on my YouTube channel that I put up earlier today, that says how I've done that. So I haven't got my clearance yet, but I can do my run up while I'm waiting. So engine run up checklist, parking brake is set, power lever to 1900 RPM, that's around about 360 foot-pounds. It's so I use spad.next, and that gives me what I've got it configured is that most of the throttle is I'll just show. See, that's I can put it into beta, but I can't put it into reverse. So for me, reverse is the button below the physical detente on that. So I've got a software detente for the idle position. That works pretty well for me. Oh, wants me to line up and wait. I better line up and wait then, or I'll lose my spot. Just apply brake weight. You're on an Xbox. Well, yeah. I mean, that configurational that I posted will work pretty good. It's just as good as the SPADA, actually. In fact, arguably, it's better because you've got control over the amount of reverse. On my setup, reverse is just, you know, I get full reverse. I don't get anything in between the sort of the end of the beta range and maximum reverse. But that suits me, because when you use reverse, I reckon you want all of it. Okay, I'm going to sync the heading bug. I'm going to put in engage flight level change mode. I'm going to dial in. I'm going to dial in 100 knots. Okay. Can I fly with you? Well, I'm not actually. Don't think so actually. I've just not got the server set up right. I haven't had a takeoff clearance, have I? Busy. So I'm going to take off. I'll maintain runway heading as I climb out. I'm climbing up to 8,000 feet, and then I'll make a right-hand turn to pick up my track. Yeah. Well, there is a southwest coming in on the parallel. Yeah, I don't know what server I'm on, but I've not got multiplayer set up, so you know, that's just the way it is. Because actually, it's kind of chaos if you're flying in with live players. Am I going to get a takeoff clearance or not? Sitting. Well, I'll start the timer anyway. I'm getting distracted here anyway. I need to go fuel pumps to manual, ignition to manual before takeoff checklist actually. Seats, armrest and belts just locked, generators on, alternators on, bleed air's in, cabin comfort is normal, fuel temperature is within limits, fuel pumps are manual, ignition is manual, periheat, go on, ice protection not required, taxi lights can now go off, but I'll put my recognition lights on, landing light is on, strobe lights on, flight instruments checked, and controls are free and correct. Still haven't had a takeoff clearance yet, have I? I'll give it a minute and then I'll go for it. So, considering the CAS, that's all good. Engine instruments checked. Everything's in the green. Radio avionics transponder as required, confirming squawking. Mode Charlie, flaps 0. Elevator and rudder trim is set. Flight controls are free and correct. And start our heading. Start our timer. What am I doing? There we go. Am I ever going to get a takeoff clearance? I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing coming. If not gonna give me a takeoff clearance, I'm just gonna have to get on with it. Okay, I think that's enough waiting. I'll get told off, but anyway, release the parking brake, advance the throttle, don't want to exceed 13 foot-pounds. Oh, finally. Just a straight headwind. I think I know what the problem was there. It didn't actually recognise the fact that it was on the runway. Anyway, I'm well above VR now. We'll just rotate up. Okay, positive rate, gear can go up. So I'll just, that's the gear up, just trim it out. Oh, that's nice, Ben. Enjoy. Nice to have you here. Chat is always good. Okay, so I should be getting handed off soon. Ah, I've already been handed off. I missed it. We're flying the FSR 500, which is a Piper M500. Oh, come on. I'm missing my... Okay. I'm gonna start my... going to start my turn. And I'll increase the flight level change mode to 120 knots. My yield damper can go on. Okay, and that's our altimeter 3012. So I don't need to acknowledge that. Oh yeah, it's a lovely plane. It's very, very good. Okay, so we're trimmed out at that, still hand flying it. Hand flies very sweetly, this plane. We are. View of the strip down there. The Las Vegas sprawl. On our way to Orange County. We're coming up on our 8,000 feet. Our ignition can go off and our fuel pumps can go to auto. I'll just keep hand flying it for now. First 14,000. Our final altitude is going to be flight level 270 today. And we will increase our, well, we'll put the IS to 140 knots, which is more of a cruise climb. That's good up to flight level 200. Ah, thank you. Yeah, well, the Kodiak's still my favourite. Oh, this is pretty sweet as well. This is I mean, the Kodiak is a VFR aircraft, isn't it? I mean, you can do IFR, it's fully IFR capable, but it's a bit slow. Whereas this is a bit quicker, and it's really, really good for IFR cruising, which is what it is in real. It's a sort of mission in real life. Okay, we're coming up. There's a bit of traffic out there, but nothing. In fact, let's get our inset map back up. Quite like having that on the PFD. So we're starting to get some deflection on the HSI needle, so we should be intercepting our nav track soon. I mean, I've got the aircraft completely trimmed now. I'm just making light touches. I could probably trim the aileron. There's GPS mode coming active. We're above 10,000. Just turn it on, pick up our track. It's pretty smooth weather. If we high altitude winds are coming from the north, so we should get a bit of a push. Because we're kind of tracking southwesterly. So I've done some videos for this aircraft as well. I've done a couple of them. I'll do some more tutorial type videos when I have the time. Okay, we're on our track. I'm going to engage the autopilot just so I can do some, just check everything's all set up. Okay, inbound for Cresco. We'll leave the rudder trim in now. Still quite a lot of torque and P factor going on, but what I'm going to do is increase my throttle for to about 1250, and we're going to go for maximum power climb. can also get our en route chart there. Just lock that to the aircraft. It does have persistence. It's got everything that you can imagine. This aircraft, it's extraordinary. I mean, let me show you. It's got a full sort of maintenance and failure. It's not a full failure module. That's coming out in version 2 early in the new year. But it's got most of the failures. So you've got all these subsystems here that are persistent and tracked. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you've got all these systems here, and they require maintenance. And you know, if you damage stuff, yeah, it's cut out a load of people. It's got full sim brief integration, very good sim brief integration. It's got sort of custom, a bit like GSX on the ground. You've got vehicles and fuel trucks and things like that. There's 200. Dial that in. Reset RIS. Yep. Okay. I mean, it's also got. Oh, this is not going to be pretty. You've got your cabin comfort. So this is the tracks. How the passengers are doing. Oh dear, they're not wearing their seatbelts. Cabin temperature. They're getting a bit hungry, it says. So I'll hold off until we get up into the cruise before we feed them and water them. There are no visible passengers. Raoul, the developer, really hates the current models that you can get in the sim. He thinks they look like zombies, and he's not wrong. So it's waiting. No, I'm sorry, I can't turn on multiplayer. I'm afraid it's just too difficult with everything else going on, and it can affect performance as well. So just kick back and watch the stream. Actually, I was a bit enthusiastic there. I'll dial in 2,500. Oh, the EFB is it's so slick, it's untrue. It's really cool. Yeah, I haven't got the Comanche yet. I think that's I've just been too busy. I'm actually on the beta test team. Was on the beta test team for this aircraft, so yeah, pretty heavily involved in its testing and parts of its development. So that's been keeping me busy. But the Comanche is definitely high on the list. I do love the desert. Looks so cool in the simulator. It'll probably look 10 times cooler in FS 2024, but this is pretty good as far as I'm concerned. So unlike a lot of aircraft in the simulator, it's really realistically modelled. There's a lot of things you have to monitor in flight as well. You can't just sort of like stick the autopilot on and forget about everything, so you've got to monitor your fuel temperature. That has limits, and you can get failures in flight. You have to monitor your electrical systems. All the circuit breakers operate, but you know, they don't just, you can't just click them. They actually, if you break things, they pop. And also if your battery gets into a bad condition, the circuit breakers will just start randomly popping, as happens in reality. So there are a whole bunch of different failures that can occur. Okay, there's 18,000 feet, so we're at the flight levels now. PFT options, standard BRAVO. very strong crosswind from the right. So we're tracking towards the GFS VOR, which it's saying is 29 nautical miles. Everything is nice and slick. But you've got tremendous situational awareness with all these charts and everything. The only thing is it's quite performance heavy aircraft. It's more like an airliner than a GA aircraft. But it just came out on Xbox and it's working on Xbox, certainly working on Xbox X very well. Xbox S is a little trickier, but it's still lots of people using it without problems, as long as you don't go crazy with the settings. Yeah, I've just got that. I'm not quite easy to miss ATC. Well, we're 500 from our, well, less than that, coming up on our altitude. So, as always, Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's our final altitude. So I was waiting for that. So I started dialing in the higher altitude even before the ATC had finished speaking, and that way I didn't capture the existing altitude, so just keep the climb going. But at above flight level 200, it recommends dropping the climbing at 120 knots, and we'll just bump up our torque as well, which drops off of the climb. Torque drops and ITT rises, so you do have to monitor, but it becomes more of an issue when it's hot, and it isn't particularly hot. I mean, I can check out my OFP, so the average ISA is +1, yeah, okay, so it's just bang on, nearly standard atmospheric temperature. Still getting 1500 feet per minute up at 22,000 feet. Pressurization system is all automated. Just gonna keep an eye on it. Basically, all you've got to do is fire the, make sure the bleed is pushed in, and the ECS cabin comfort, that controls the pressurization rate. And even if you forget to set it, there is an emergency system that will kick in and start pressurizing the cabin automatically if you forget to do it. Murray River bush trip, that's in Australia. That must be pretty cool. Cessna 310, yeah, I've not flown that. Not 134, well, now I'm not so busy, I'll... Oh, that's cool, that's a Virgin, it must be out of LAX. Okay, that's good. Yeah, the Bravo was an awesome unit. It really is fantastic. Really good. For the price it is, it's excellent. A lot of flexibility with it. On charts, there's Golf Foxtrot Sierra coming up. It's saying 12.9. Slight difference, so here's the thing. So GFS on the GPS is 12 nautical miles, 12.3 on the VUR. What's the difference? Well, the VUR is measuring the slant range, so that includes your altitude as well. That's why it's slightly further away. Whereas the GPS is just like the horizontal flat distance, as if your aircraft was on the ground. Right. That's 18.5 minutes. So we'll do a fuel check at GFS. That's one. Pick up the scroll. Ah, come on. I see. GFS. It's saying I should have 552 on board and burned 172. Finally at top of climb, which is saying we should hit top of climb before GFS, before GOFS. And what's it saying time wise? 21 minutes, and we've got we've got 19.5 on the clock, so yeah, we made the climb quicker than Simbrief estimated. I mean, I'm not flying exactly, so this fuel calculation is based on maximum performance there. We're at GOFS now, so we'll just see what's our fuel. We've got fuel quantity 281 times 2, that's 400, well, it's 560, and GOFS we were expecting 552, that's within £8, happy with that. It's great having a little no. No, sadly. God, it would be great to fly any of these planes in real life. So yeah, but it was just saying, you know, a little sort of £4,500 aircraft up at flight level 270. I mean, there's a lot more factors. I mean, you know, stuff that you have to think about with airliners, but become really important in a light aircraft like this, like icing and weather. You really do have to plan your flights quite carefully. It would be better if the simulator actually gave us some more dangerous weather, but even so, you just have to play the game and say, no, I'm not going to fly through thunderstorms or heavy icing. It is rated for icing, moderate, light to moderate icing, but not heavy icing. Monitor the fuel temperatures, it's minus 23. There's a fuel recirculation system that helps prevent the fuel from getting too cold too quickly, but it will eventually, particularly if you're flying in Canada or Norway or something really cold at the moment, that you may find that you are altitude limited because you're just not going to be able to go too high because your fuel will get too cold. It can go down to minus 41. Can go lower with additives, but those aren't simulated at the moment. But we're in the cruise now, so let's. They are getting hungry and thirsty. Okay, well, there we go. So we fed them. Get a view in the back. see, that's their drinks and snacks are out. Oh dear, there's cushions on the floor. Is that for me? No, Sky West. So if the cushions end up on the floor, you can organize them. Let's see if that tidied them up. Yep. 124.625, right, and we'll acknowledge that. Ah, right, okay. So what have we got? We've got Heck, that's our entry point for our arrival. Top of the signs just showing before that. Let's have a look at that chart. Yeah, okay, so John Wayne. Arrival. In one arrival. So sequencing is Hector v Vortak, then Gillim, then Apples, then Emlyn, motorway 10,000 at Apples, 10,000 at Caps, 8,100 at Rise, then the Paradise Vortak, that's 6,000, and I think, and then Randall at 6,000, Box Coup, and then we're coming in from the north. So it was what, runway 20 right. To 8.125 that was. I know. I think it was 150. I know it was 150, but was it 128? Yeah, it was 128. There's a Virgin A350 up ahead of me. It must be heading for LAX. Factor for me. I could dial in Hector VR on to nav 2, that's 112.7. And there it is, 38 nautical miles. do another fuel check at Hector. This flight. Oh, one thing I need to do is take out my rudder trim. Forgot all about that. Okie doke, let's rudder trim out. Flies to slight, yeah, it looks like an angle of attack of about 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees, it's not much. It certainly doesn't fly nose down. So what am I making? 235 knots over the ground, picked up a bit of a headwind, 258 true. So yeah, I think, you know, this aircraft is kind of all about fuel management. And you have to be really careful not to redline it too much, because you can definitely blow the engine without realizing it, and it can creep up as well, the torque, or the ITT. I mean, I'm sitting at ITT 713, it can go up to 770. NG is only 87.3, so nowhere near maximum engine capacity. Some light cloud. The outside air temperature is minus 42, so I'm not really worried about icing. It's too cold for icing. I mean, I say that confidently as we're about to fly through some cloud. We'll see what happens. .5. See it start to come out through on the chart now. Just check the flight plan, see if it actually loaded in the VNAV. It did. So we've got 10,000 apples, Emlyn, caps. 8,100, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000 is the bottom for this start. It's top of descent coming up now. Any signs of icing? I see no signs of icing. I might start to see in the corner of the windows first, but that's all okay. There's top of descent coming up. ATC have not yet cleared me lower. What I will do actually is I'll put in an approach, put an ILS to 0 right, and we'll select no, I don't want, I want Sager. Just load that up. Just always interested to see how well Microsoft Flight Simulator manages it. Yeah, that's interesting. So little nav map hubs me quite a long way from the top of the descent. Kind of moment when you're waiting for ATC to when will it descend me? And I did a flight yesterday where it just simply never, you know, had to cancel the IFR and go VFR because it just didn't stop giving me instructions. So that's just 5 miles to Hector. $120 nautical miles to go. Okay, everything's looking good. One thing I can do is get the ATIS dialed in, so it's 126.0. So 126. Okay, there we are at Hector. So what's our fuel at Hector is £482. And it was saying 483 in some brief. That's a whole pound out. Yeah, bring on beyond ATC. I know. I cannot wait. I mean, I would have flown in Vatsim, but there was nothing on. Let's see if there's anything on now. Not that I would switch mid-flight. Nah, there's no Vatsim. I mean, on the other hand, the audio hasn't actually dropped out. And I think I do wonder about the G1000 top of descent calculation. It always seems to be very generous. I mean, little nav map, which is normally pretty accurate, still has me coming up on top of descent. Anyway, it's all looking good. I should probably tune another VUR now. We have got, what is the PDZ? That's the Paradise Ontario Vortac 111.2.2. Put that on nav too. PDZ. Still not giving me my descent. Oh, there's the famous roll on the drone camera. Yeah, what about me, mate? When am I going to get my descent? Let's see how the passengers are doing. Oh, they're all fairly happy. They're all, yeah, no complaints. That makes a change. Okay. I need to request a descent now. Okay, so I've selected 17,000 because you'll clear me down to that once I approach. I've armed flight level change. I'm going to set a flight level change to 180 and we'll pull back on throttle, and that'll just take us down. Pretty good rate of descent. Set about 600 foot-pound on the torque, or pound-feet. See what that gives us. Should be pretty rapid. 2,000 feet per minute. Yes, not that much. Can't go lower. If you pull the torque below 300, get an automatic check gear warning. I'll just demo that. But if you do get that, as long as you're not too low and it's a yellow warning, you can hit the alert button and it will go away. Okay, it's already got me going to Aples, although I'm actually still coming up on Gillam. So we need to be... Yeah, I don't think we're going to be making... I'm just going to bring it right back down to idle. So we're supposed to be at 10,000 at Apples. And we are 10 miles away, or 9 miles away, and we are at 19,500, flight level 195. But we're descending at 4,000 feet per minute now, definitely getting down. Go. And one another. This is going to level me out. Give me another 7,000 feet. Okay, it's 10,000 selected. Shot there. Okay, flight level change mode, and we'll dial in. Yep. Okay, yeah. Actually, we are just about going to make it. In fact, if I bump that up to 180 altitude select, I should see that. That is crossing at April, so we'll make our 10,000 just about. And also, we need to come out of standard barometer now, and I'm not quite sure what it is, because ATC haven't told me. Well, that looks like it's correct. Okay, there's Apples. Apples. And we're holding that 10,000. Yeah, there's the coast over there. Okay, there's 10,000 coming up. I still got my recognition lights on, I do, and I still have my landing light on. Where's my nav light on? Okay. Bring our throttle back up now. Let's bring it up to about 126.35. Finally got an altimeter reading. pretty bang on anyway. Okay, coming up on Emlyn. Thanks for joining, Ben. Enjoy the rest of your flight. Thanks very much, Ben. Thanks for the sub. There'll be more coming in bits and pieces whenever I have the time. Happy flying. So we got Yankee. One five. 20 right, 20 left. Okay, we got Yankee, and that is confirming our runways. So our next is Rise at 8,100. But that's after we've passed caps. Don't know if ATC will ever catch up. Just set my destination altimeter now. Oh, I'm going to slow it down as well actually. No need to be cruising along at 185 indicated. There's no need to go that fast. Okay, there we're at caps.
Vertical track.
We want to now go down to 8,100. If I can get a word in edgeways. Harry. Okay, it's got me on the star now. That's cool. So descent checklist: windshield heat defog if required, not required. Ice protection as required, not required. Power level are set. Altimeters are set, cross checked. Destination elevation is checked. Cabin climate controls as required. I know they've still got their seatbelts on, but we can fold the table away. So it's 8,100 at rise. It's quite a tricky approach, this, actually. And then it's 6,000. Oh, here we go. Excellent.
Vertical track.
Descend and maintain 3,500 feet. Expect ILS runway 20 right approach via Sager transition. Clear to Sager 0 Bravo Bravo.
Okay, so bring up flight plan. Should have Sager already loaded in. Okay, direct Sager. Okay, that's looking good. So we have direct Sager and 3,500 feet. Let us get the chart up. Our minimums are 221 feet. Our final approach fix is Lemon at 2,200 feet. And the ILS is 111.75, which is tuned on, that's active on nav 1. Stall heat inhibits come up because outside air temperature has got high enough. Yeah, acknowledged. Let's turn off that stall heat. So we're going to be 3,500 at Sager. We're going to make that easy. Okay, that's our minimum set. Or let's get that up there. That looks like an Air Force base to me. It is Chino. No, it's a civilian airport. Lake Matthews. Okay, altimeter is 3013. I didn't mean to do that. I don't need a vector. So once we get to Sager, okay, 3,400 feet, we can do that. This is at Sager, so we're turning in now. John Wayne should be dead ahead once we've lined up. Okay, we can arm the approach mode now. We want to be at 2,800 neck as our next likely altitude he's going to clear us to, so we'll just set that up now. Our fuel pumps can go to manual. Our igniters can be on. So our approach check, fuel pumps manual, igniters on, a landing light on. Fuel quantity and balance checked. Seats, armrests and belts adjusted and locked. Okay, we'll just pause it there because we're not ready to put our gear down yet. It's 2,800. take it down on vertical speed mode.
Descend and maintain 2,800 feet 0 Bravo Bravo.
And our final should be 2,200 at Lemon. That's our final approach fix. Can see the runway, just about. Can see the lights. It's a bit hazy. Not much wind. Slight crosswind from the right. Okay, we're at 2,800. Just keeping the torque around about 300. It's a very slippery plane, so you don't need a lot of power down at these altitudes to get a good speed. So at Huckham we want to be 2,800, which we are, so the next is going to be 2,200.
Tower on 126.80 Bravo Bravo. John Wayne Tower, November 150 Bravo Bravo, 10 miles, northeast inbound ILS runway 20 right approach.
Okay, cleared for the 20 right.
Cleared ILS runway 20 right approach 0 Bravo Bravo.
I'm just ascending now. I mean, I'm cleared for the approach, so I can get myself down to 2,200, which is the altitude for the final approach fix. Now our flap schedule, so 160, I'm going to go flaps 10 now. Should be capturing glide slope any second now, and there's glide slope captured. 7 nautical miles. So our next flaps is at 135, so we'll just pull the torque back. Just cancel that. There's our landing clearance. Why did it do that? Okay, there's a gear down. Bit of a crosswind from the right. We're targeting 85 knots. Okay, autopilot and yield damper can now go off. So landing check. Yeah. Ooh, what a terrible approach. Yeah, have to try and regain that glide slope. Gusty. Okay, it's largely gusts on the nose. So full flaps, landing gears down, ignition and fuel pumps on, landing checklist complete. Too fast though. There's 85. Gusty. Okay, so we want to make a nice positive landing here, given it's gusting.
Minimums.
Okay. Continue. Okay, pull the throttle back. Try not to burn. Okay. Burst. So we get below 50 knots, I'll apply some brakes. Put my feet on the pedals properly. There we are. Just bring it to a stop there. So the pitot heat can come off. The radar is off, never turned it on. Ground handoff. Looks like we lost audio. Golf Bravo. Well, that could be to the left, it could be to the right. There's no way of telling unless you do a quick... I see it's just there. Okay, after landing, our timer can stop. And it was supposed to be a flight time of 1 hour and 14 minutes, and that was 1 hour and 12. Fuel pumps to auto, ignition off, pitot heat is off, ice protection's off, taxi lights are on, landing lights are off, strobes are off, weather radar is off, flaps are retracted, and our transponder can now go to standby. Okay, just pop parking brake off. Get some breakaway power. judge what way to approach by. Way he's facing. Okay, there we are. So set the parking brake. Throttles and idle. So parking brake set. ECS cabin comfort and off. Power levers idle. Cabin climate controls. Off. Fuel pump switch. Off. Avionics. Off. Generator. Off. Alternator off. Let the ITT stabilize, which it is. Condition lever to cut off feather. Pressure warning is gone. There's the feather message. Bleed air out. Exterior lighting. What have we got on? We've got that and that can go off. Fuel remaining. So what have we got? We've got £346 on board, and according to this we should have landed with 356. Yeah, it's pretty good. £10 over. Spot on now. Right. Let's make the aircraft safe for the passengers. I'll get the pitot cover on. Prop covers, chalk it. Security cones can go out. And let's open the cabin door and unload. Transport should be arriving any second. It's quite an interesting approach. It was quite gusty. I mean, the winds weren't strong, but it was gusty, bouncing me up and down. There we go. are already getting on board the vehicle, apparently. This isn't a Range Rover, not at all. So they're all on board. If I had baggage loaded, that would appear. Bags appear, just not the passengers. What kind of traffic is here? It's not quite a busy airport, John Wayne. There's traffic. Oh, there's a landing southwest. This is FS LTL. I've got running. I try both FS LTL and AIG, and I honestly find they give me about the same performance. AIG has more cool features. This is a United by the looks of it. It is a United. 737. Not very good at airliner spotting. They all look the same to me. It is, no, it is an A320. Looks like we've got a bunch of Southwest. There's a lot of Southwest fly out of here. Delta, Frontier, Alaska, American, all here. Smaller CRJs. It's quite a good lineup. It's not United. Yeah, UK 2000 have done a really nice job on the scenery. Really well populated airport, quite heavy on the frames of course, but oh well. Right, the car is gone. Probably sitting here draining my battery actually. Okay, well I can turn my battery off now, and that is us. Okay, well, thanks for watching this flight from Los Angeles, McCarran, down to John Wayne, just south of Los Angeles. It was a good one, I enjoyed it, some good chat going, and I'll see you in the next one.